Taxi! Taxi! Take me to the garden and hit the music.
Come on! Go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, I can't hear you! Go New York, go New York, go! Say what? Go New York, go New York, go! Hustling hard, we show no fear. No shortcuts, always prepared. Madison Square, New York, we're here. All 5 boroughs, the love is thorough. New York forever, against whoever. God in the pink, see the orange blue letters? Go against the Knicks, then you go against us. Now stand up and tell us where you're from. Come on!
Go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Boys. All right, boys. It's not going to be that formal episode today. I'm still on vacation. I'd come back to Minnesota in a couple days, actually, in about 48 hours or so. But I had to pop on here. I had to get on here, bro. Oh my gosh. What did we just witness? Because I had to talk about it. You know, as I said, it's not going to be that formal. It's going to be pretty informal. We're just going to use X as our sources. I don't have slides set up. I quickly made this thumbnail because the New York Knicks have taken a 2-0 lead over the San Antonio Spurs. Both of those games, both of those wins coming in San Antonio. And yeah, there's a lot to talk about. You know, as a Minnesota Timberwolves fan, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about the Karl Anthony Towns trade. Was that a good trade in our books? Was that, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Wembanyama, what this means for his career. We'll talk about Jalen Brunson. We'll talk about the Knicks. We'll talk about them all. It's going to be a fun show. Probably a shorter show. Again, I'm still on vacation. Last really full day of vacation for me. But again, I had to jump on here. So without further ado, let's get over here. Bam! The Knicks won. Yes, they did. They won 105-104 in San Antonio Game 2 last night. Cal Bridges, Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, and company all showed in and showed out. They showed up, showed out, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. It was an impressive game. Okay, it was a very impressive game today or yesterday, because I'm doing it in the morning after that game. Yeah, it was impressive, right? And I feel like just before we talk about it, I have to show you the 2 last plays of the game, right? Okay, so it's going to be the first one. Obviously, people are talking a lot about the Wemby turnover. And then the second one will be Wemby had the chance to win it. And obviously, we know that didn't go well. So let's step back, go over here to X. Again, I can't show the audio of ESPN. They get finicky. So again, I apologize if you can't really see it, but I'll try to talk about it here. So this game is tied at 104 with 16 seconds left. Wemby
has, jump shot. Back of the rim won't go.
Right?
Wemby the rebound. 12 seconds remaining.
And then
stolen by Brunson and knocked down by Wemby.
Back.
Brunson will shoot free throws with 9.5 remaining.
This is the same thing. These are the passes we saw from Wemby in the first.
Goes up, jump shot. Back of the rim won't go. Wemby the rebound. 12 seconds remaining. Stolen by Brunson and knocked down by Wemby. Brunson will shoot free throws with 9.5 remaining.
This is the same thing. These are the passes we saw.
Can we that frozen picture says it all. It says it all. It's frustration, right? It's frustration, and it's like Wemby's like, "Are you kidding me? Like, why did I do that?" I'm trying to find the frozen picture. Yeah, I mean, right there. It's a young, rushed move that you should. The game's tied. You had about 10 seconds. You had about 10 seconds, and it's just a rushed, forced play that just should not happen. And obviously, we got to remember, people are saying, Wemby's going to be the greatest player in the league. Maybe he's already the greatest player in the league. Guys, he's 22 or something years old. He's young. This is his first NBA Finals appearance. As we'll take a look later, his quotes, he's still stuck up in this conference finals high, in a sense. And he knows he has to get out of that high. But again, this is all about learning for Wemby. I personally don't want Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs to win the NBA Finals this year. One reason is because I don't want Wemby to win a title before Anthony Edwards does, because I believe Anthony Edwards is better, and I will stand on that ground until proven elsewhere, or until I change my mind, until I'm proven that Wemby is greater. I know Wemby is more flashy, but the all-around athlete, I mean, Edwards can do it all. And yes, I know Wemby can do it all, but that's another discussion for another time. That's one reason. The second reason, they knocked out my Timberwolves. I don't want them to win, right? I think the Timberwolves could have won that series if Anthony Edwards and Donte DiVincenzo were healthy. And third, I want Karl-Anthony Towns to get a championship. Not because it makes the Timberwolves look bad, but because I don't want that to happen. But because I really did like Karl-Anthony Towns. Sure, he was a little annoying at times, but he looking back, you just see he was so valuable. And we're seeing this come into play in these playoffs. He is so valuable to the Knicks. He was so valuable to the Timberwolves. And you can make a case, sure, the Timberwolves may have gotten better by acquiring Donte DiVincenzo and Julius Randle. Well, look how Julius Randle's turned out. And Donte DiVincenzo, I love that guy, bro. I love that guy. I'm glad we got Donte. But he's injured. So I was cheering for the Knicks at the start, and I love this. But Wemby, I feel for you, my brother. You're getting all this attention. And then, I mean, the face says it all. But oh no, we're not done talking about Wemby's mistakes or misses. It's annoying that people love to talk about the failures of people, but it's just how it is. And I'm not trying to, it's just in the game. I'm not saying he's a bad person or whatever. So that happened, and then Knicks are up by 1, and Wemby has a chance to win it with 7.5 seconds left. Cassel's going to inbound this basketball. He
Fox gets it.
Fox.
Bridges on him. 4 seconds. Fox
get this to
Wembanyama. Pulls up. Jumper.
With 1 second left.
Rebound taken by Vassell. It's over. It's over.
Survive.
The Knicks survive. This magic carpet ride continues. 13 straight victories, and they lead 2-0 here in these NBA Finals.
We're just really
Fox gets it.
Unfortunate for not
Bridges
only
on
Victor
him.
Wembanyama,
4 seconds.
but
Fox
the San
to
Antonio
Wembanyama.
Spurs.
Pulls up. Jumper.
I was a fan of the
Won't go.
Spurs.
Rebound taken by Vassell. It's
The
over.
way this
It's
game
over.
ended.
The Knicks survive.
Wow.
This magic carpet ride
That would
continues.
have been real tough for me.
13 straight victories, and they lead 2-0.
This series, has been grueling for Victor Wembanyama, and we'll talk about why in a second. But I feel like this was the worst loss of the postseason for the Spurs. Sure, they lost a couple times to the Timberwolves. Sure, they lost 1 game to the Blazers. Sure, they lost a couple to OKC. But this one, I think, is going to sting the most because not only you lose home court advantage fully, you're giving the Knicks a chance to close it out at home. Madison Square Garden is one of the best NBA stadiums or home stadiums in the entire league. It drives in so many people, a lot of celebrities, because those prices, the cheapest ticket, for heaven's sakes, I'm just going to go on a tangent for a second. Why the heck is the cheapest? Why is the cheapest ticket all the way up in the rafters $10,000 at Madison Square Garden? But anyway, that's another story for another time. It's grueling, right? And this is just the worst way to go out. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because I thought we were going to get a fun, entertaining series. And hey, the Spurs, of course, are a team capable of coming back from 2-0. But again, it's just going to be very, very hard. So now let's get off of this. And let's just this is going to be very unorganized. I didn't really plan this out much. I just found some stuff on X, and we're just going to talk about it, whatever comes to mind. Since we're on Victor Wembanyama, let's see what he had to say after game 2 here. We should be able to show the audio. Hold up, let me just get my audio set up in a second. Again, sorry, this is just I'm not in my normal setup. I'm in a condo, whatever, so just chill. We're chilling. Hold up. I just got breaking news from the Twins, too. My bad. All right.
I could have been better in recovering from the high of the conference finals. But I mean, here we are. We can't change the past now. We're already focused on game 3.
It's a very interesting angle where he took this from, saying, quote, we got to well, what did he exactly say? He said, quote, I could have been better at recovering from the high of the conference finals. It's a very interesting place to go. But it also makes sense. Guys, he's young. I mean, he's not much older than me. He's what, 22? It's about 6 or so years older than me. I know some 22-year-olds. And just from the state of the boy's brain, it makes sense. The development, it makes sense why he would be so focused. He'd still be in this high. It just makes sense in a way. And I'm sure a bunch of people probably watching this are in that 16 to 25 age range, probably. And you can probably relate. We all know our brains are not fully developed until we're 25 years old or so. And it can, force things to happen like this where maybe we're not as locked in as we should be. So with that little backstory in our head, it makes sense why he would be so focused in this high of the conference finals, even, entering the second game of the NBA Finals. Obviously, he needs to lock in, though. It is not an excuse. I'm just trying to, because people are giving him so much hate online for, saying, it caught up in the high of the conference finals. It was a great win, bro. And I'm just trying to kind of give you a little bit of some thought process here in a sense of why that might be. Obviously, I don't know. But again, I think it's a very interesting take on this where he comes out and says this. And for me personally, I don't know if I would have said that. But at least he's being honest, and we can all respect that. So again, I don't know. Do you think he should have said that? I don't know. Okay, I don't know if he should have said that. Again, it's probably part of our boy's brains developing. I think, again, as he grows, and this is also the thing here. This is what I'm trying to get at. I'm sorry. I'm kind of progressing. I'm talking a long time. I'm sorry. You probably just want to go on with your day. You're maybe even watching me on double speed, which is fine. I watch people on double speed sometimes as well. But another reason why I think I was cheering for the Knicks, or I'm still cheering for the Knicks, is look at what Victor Wembanyama has been able to do at such a young age. He's only going to get better. He's going to get better. He's going to grow in maturity. These things are all learning opportunities. So you can go out and say, okay, maybe he shouldn't have said that. Maybe he should have said that. Or maybe he should have been more locked in. It doesn't matter. All that matters is the New York Knicks are up 2-0. And that this is all a part of a bigger plan in my brain. I think the Knicks are going to end up winning this. Now, sure, could I have jinxed them? Yes, I maybe could have. I'm sorry, Knicks fans. I thought the Spurs were going to win this in about 6 games. I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. I think if the Spurs win this, it's going to be in 7. However, I'm leaning towards the Knicks winning this now, and it all makes more sense because I do believe that this is all for Wemby's best. Okay, I think it is better off for Wemby to lose in the finals this year than to win. I think it is better for his career. And you might ask, Mateo, why do you say that? Because you have to learn from something. Sure, you can learn from a win. But as an athlete myself, as somebody who has been constantly watching sports for the last 5 or so years, and obviously I don't know as much as a lot of people do. No, way more than 5 years. What am I saying? People learn the most from hard things. And it's not just from sports, from life. You learn the most from hard things. And so I'm trying to use this time here when Spurs fans are maybe mad at Wemby, which I don't think you should be mad at Wemby. I don't think you should. And I can't believe I'm defending him. You shouldn't be mad at Wemby. You should actually like this. You should like this because as we're going to look here, there's another quote. Right here. This is what he said. Hold up, sorry.
I threw that one away. I messed up. We didn't play great as a team. We needed to win that game. This game was ours. But at this point, it's done. Yes, am I going to regret it? Yes, of course. Am I going to use that to fuel me and to fuel us next game? Absolutely.
That says it all. It's not just going to fuel him for next game, which I think he'll probably come out pretty strong. He's a strong competitor. Again, I don't know if they're going to win because MSG is a very hard arena to come into and win a game in, especially come playoff time. But the fact that he said this just gives me even more confidence that imagine what a finals loss will do. And it seems like that's going to be where it's going to end up. Imagine what that could do for his career. Already having that competitiveness and longing to get back to the finals and win a ring now. And then maybe whenever he eventually wins one, because he's going to win a ring. We all know that. It's just a matter of when. It's going to motivate him. And I think it's going to do great things for him. So, Spurs fans, I know you're upset. Rightfully so. But use this. Try to turn this negative thing into a positive because remember how young your team is. And it's not just for Wemby. I've been talking about Wemby because Wemby's getting all the talk because of what he did. You know, the turnover, the missed basket. But guys like Dylan Harper, Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle, and company, they're young. Imagine what this loss could do because they're all strong competitors. If you're in the NBA, you're going to be a strong competitor. Imagine what it could do for their career. So that's my tangent on the Spurs. But now, Knicks fans, I open with go New York, go New York, go New York, go New York, go. Because, we got to talk about you, boys. We got to talk about you, boys. So, with this win, they lead now 2-0, right? As mentioned already. But from Adam Schefter, the Knicks still have not lost since the opening night of the NFL draft. That was when they lost the last time. By the way, the Atlanta Hawks, congratulations. I was so high on you. I had, at the start of the season, so at the start of the playoffs, when I did my bracket challenge, it's on there. My bracket is a complete mess right now. I don't think I have anything right. But I said there, when we were talking about that ATL New York Knicks matchup, I said the Atlanta Hawks were going to be the only team that would give the Knicks a run for their money. And I picked the Atlanta Hawks. And I said, if they were matched up with anybody else, if the Knicks were matched up with anybody else, I'd be picking the Knicks. But they're the Hawks. There was something about them. And to this day, they have been the toughest playoff opponent for the New York Knicks. They have beaten them twice. The rest of the 3 teams they've played have beaten them, I don't think, really, maybe once. Did Detroit get 1 win? Or have they really? I don't remember. I don't remember if Detroit, did they play Detroit? Wait, Cleveland, they swept. Right, yeah, they swept Cleveland. And they swept Philly. Yeah, my bad. Sorry. I couldn't envision the bracket. Atlanta beat them twice. The other 3 teams, to this point, up to game 2 of the NBA Finals, have beaten them 0 times. It's impressive. It's impressive. And I'm just happy that that take is still alive and is looking really good for me. But man, props to the Knicks. They were able to get their business done, get the business done against the Atlanta Hawks, and now they've been dancing. They've been dancing to a championship, if you will. Again, the Knicks won 105-104. And here's the crazy thing. Again from Adam Schefter, who's normally a football guy, but he's loving this. The Knicks trailed as many as, the Knicks trailed by as many as 14 points in the game 1 win, and as many as 12 in game 2. Yes, they were down 12 in the first half. I was like, okay, the Spurs are probably going to win this. Man, was I wrong for a second straight day. Schefter continues in his tweet, as you can see here if you're watching on YouTube. This is the first team a team has recorded a double-digit comeback in each of their first 2 games of the NBA Finals since 1975. This Knicks team is special. Some leaders for their box score here. Cat, I believe, at 21 points. Yeah, by the way, the Knicks have won 13 straight playoff games, bro. It's absolutely insane. Their last loss was at the NFL draft, first round of the NFL draft. It's absolutely insane. Mikal Bridges, 20 points. Brunson, 20 points. And Anunoby, 17 points. I mean, this team, you talk about depth. This team, we were talking about how deep OKC is. We were talking about how deep San Antonio is. The Knicks, bro, they're deep in a special way. And I think that's everything. That's everything else except one more thing that we'll talk about. Okay, perfect. But related to that, the Knicks are the second team in NBA playoff history to win 13 straight games in a single postseason, joining the 2016-2017 Warriors, who won 15 straight. The Knicks can tie that if they complete the sweep. If it's a sweep in the NBA Finals, it's going to be absolutely insane. But with their 8th straight road win, the Knicks have tied the 2000-2001 Lakers for the longest road winning streak in the single postseason. But now, we've talked about Wemby. We've talked about the Knicks' depth. We've talked about how good of a performance we've seen the Knicks. We've talked about ATL a little bit. But the last thing, I even have ESPN on right now, and they're talking about Karl Anthony Towns. Because, man, that brother's been special. You might have seen the tweet already, but I thought this was a perfect way to end the episode. If the Knicks win it all, who do you think is winning Finals MVP? Karl Anthony Towns or Jalen Brunson? And this is where we're going to end the episode. We're going to talk a little bit about this and then end it. Again, sorry it's not been the most formal episode, but I just had to get on here. But this is a fair question. if the Knicks win it all, who do I think is winning NBA Finals? Let me know. NBA Finals MVP. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll let you know why here. I'll let you know why I'm going with Karl Anthony Towns. This brother has outplayed Victor Wembanyama. Not only offensively, but defensively. This brother has outplayed the alien. No one thought, of all people, he would be the one to do that. Maybe they would have said, maybe Jokic could do that. Maybe Giannis could do that. Maybe Ant could possibly do that on a good night. Maybe SGA, maybe Doncic. Not Karl Anthony Towns. But man, Karl Anthony Towns has absolutely crushed Victor Wembanyama. He is the reason the New York Knicks are up 2-0 in this NBA Finals. And yes, I want to say here, Wemby has come alive in the second half, but you need a full 48 minutes. You need a full 48 minutes from your star player. And you've all seen the numbers. You've all seen the stats when Cat's guarding him. He's almost getting nothing. Nothing. And it's just insane. And of course, as a Timberwolves fan, this leads me to think, if the Timberwolves would have kept Karl Anthony Towns, what would the playoffs look like this year? And I think the Minnesota Timberwolves would probably be in the NBA Finals if Karl Anthony Towns was on the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think he is that valuable to any team. He's valuable to the Knicks, and he would be just as valuable to the Timberwolves. He is that true co-star. You know, I've been talking about it, Wolves fans, and I'm going to continue to talk about it throughout the offseason until it happens. Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels, they are not co-stars for Anthony Edwards. Edwards needs a true co-star. Somebody that can take away some of the double teams so that Ant can do what Ant knows how to do, what he's capable of. Julius Randle's not doing that. Karl Anthony Towns is doing that. And he's even having some of those games where he is the best player on the court. Even more than Jalen Brunson, who, man, that brother is clutch. I didn't know how clutch that guy was. Well, actually, no, I did. But I thought he was, having a little quiet of a season. Man, bro, you've watched these playoffs. He's clutch. When they need a bucket, Jalen Brunson's got you. That's why he was one of the clutchest players in the league this year. The clutch player of the year a couple years ago. But man, Karl Anthony Towns. Absolutely insane. It's insane, guys. It's insane. So let me know in the comments down below if the Knicks win it all. Or maybe to rephrase that, because I think that it's going to happen. When the Knicks win it all, who do you think is winning Finals MVP? And I think a lot of people are definitely going to agree with me when I say this. Karl Anthony Towns is by far probably the almost unanimous Finals MVP. But guys, that's going to do it from me here. We got Game 3 on Monday night, I believe. It's going to be cool. Will the Knicks go up, to a 3-0 lead? Or will the San Antonio Spurs cut the deficit to one game? We'll find that out on Monday, but thank you guys so much for watching. In the meantime, hit that like button and subscribe button here on YouTube. Give me a follow on iHeartRadio, or Spotify. We mostly post on Spotify, not as much iHeartRadio, but it's kind of linked, whatever. But YouTube's the main part, so appreciate you guys if you'd hit the like button and subscribe button. Another 30 Teams in 30 Days episode is going to drop at 5 Eastern today, so I believe it's the Grizzlies today, so if you want to check that out, you can. We're going through every single NBA team in 30 days, so one NBA team every day in the month of June. You can go find that out on my channel, and all the more info is all on my channel. But I'm going to stop yapping here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please have a great day. God bless. Don't forget to keep him first, because he's the most important thing in your lives. Don't forget that, guys. He is the most important thing in your lives. But in the meantime, have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Peace.